Welcome. This is AllMinucOne Quick Shots. Today, folks, I want to talk to you briefly about this passage of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court Justice. Now, there is a lot of stuff in the air on both sides of the major political aisles right now. And I think one of the biggest things is that those who reside on the left, who consider themselves progressives or Democrats, are very worried about abortion rights. Now, I don't agree with a lot with President Obama, but one thing I do agree with him on is that this is probably going to be, and has been, a settled issue. No one's really going to touch it. Do you remember all the terrible accusations and nonsense that they drug Judge Kavanaugh through? Justice Kavanaugh has served honorably for many, many, many years. And milquetoast Lindsey Graham finally got outraged about this and got behind President Trump over this whole incident because they were friends, because he knows his character. And I consider Lindsey Graham a liberal, a leftist, if you would. That's one of those neocons, one of the old rhinos, if you would, that are in the the Republican Party, the do-nothing Republicans. They just cede ground constantly. So everything that happened with that was nonsense. It was a hoax. You don't have to believe me, but there's a lot of evidence against the lady making the accusations, so much so that I won't even name her name because I don't think she's respectable enough to even bother to name. In any case, Kavanaugh had hearings on abortion rights, and he did not get rid of them. But let me explain something to you as well. Let me explain something to you. It is not in the Constitution. Under the 9th Amendment, the people have the right, and under the 10th Amendment, the states have the right. But the federal government has no right to impose its rulings and its rules upon the entire nation like that. It is a states' rights issue. Now, that's not some coded language. That's not some nonsense that, progressive jackholes want to throw at people. Oh, you're just a racist and a bigot. Yeah. No, I'm a thoughtful individual who understands what the reality is. You're a person who doesn't care about murdering babies. So let's go there. But no matter what my beliefs are or my religious convictions or any of that kind of stuff, I'm not trying to impose myself on you, but you must impose yourself upon me. And I don't like that at all. That makes you a bully. I just want you to be left alone and be free to move to a state that has the laws that you like. And I guarantee you, California, as well as New York, will not get rid of those laws. I had a friend who has a sister that some years ago had to get a very specific special procedure. She could have died early in her life. It was something she had dealt with for a very long time. And I believe she was only like 22 at the time when she got it. She got donations from an organization to help her out. She flew all the way out to a specialist, one of the only people that do it in the entire United States, this procedure that she needed that worked with stem cells to help regenerate an organ of hers. And she did this by flying out to California based on donations. Are we going to make it that there has to be that specialist everywhere in the United States? No. But that aside, let's get into this very quickly. This is Hyperbole from AOC. Now, she's going to claim that it's not, but it is.
Hi, everyone. Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining. Hey, everybody. Just wanted to give it a minute or two for everyone to hop on. Hey, everyone. Hey, everybody. Just wanted to give everybody a minute or two to hop on, but let's get to it. It's a really incredibly sad day and sad evening. If you haven't heard yet, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg just passed away this evening, and she was surrounded by her family and her friends, and it was the very last statement, one of the last statements that she gave to, I believe, her granddaughter was that her final wishes was that her vacancy and the vacancy on the court that she would leave behind not be filled until a new president.
Now, that was her statement. That has been the statements of other people like Chuck Schumer. And they're saying another president. Well, what if Trump wins? What if he wins? Now, she's been trying to hold on. That is, RBG has been trying to hold on through this whole presidency. I'm not sure what the big deal is other than media nonsense and deep state nonsense. Because the president has done nothing dictatorial. He's done nothing but get us out of these global trade organizations and these things that we've been doing for years that have eroded away our Constitution. Now, I will say he did the bump stock ban. I don't agree with that, but, you know, he's not perfect. He's not my pick, guys. I like Rand Paul. But I'm going to support President Trump because he's proven to me that he's more than capable, even through all of the things that he has gone through, the things that they've put him through over the last, 4 years, to including fake impeachment scams and investigating him while he was a candidate and immediately drumming up all kinds of nonsense using the U.S. intelligence apparatus against him. If you do not see that is a deep state, the state trying to protect its own interest away from someone who is literally a populist, who is for the people, as every single person in the federal government is supposed to be. If you do not see that as a problem, you are willfully blind, foolish, or you are a really evil person. And I mean that because, again, you're a bully and authoritarian.
Is able to fill it. And I think it's, as I've stated earlier tonight, I think it's incredibly heartbreaking that this was the last thing. This is one of the last thoughts that was weighing on her shoulders. Adds even more weight and significance to this moment, and particularly for our brothers and sisters in the Jewish community that are also kind of feeling this vacancy on the court.
Now, she's talking about the day she died was Rosh Hashanah, so that is all. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was not the first Jewish person to be on the Supreme Court, but she was the first Jewish female.
Is extremely, extremely significant. It's just earth-shattering.
It's really not unless you're an authoritarian. It is not earth-shattering. A moderate will go on the court, much like Brett Kavanaugh. That's what will happen, most likely. There are numerous candidates that Trump will pick from. I'm sure he will pick a woman, as that he is replacing a woman, and he might pick somebody. He might not pick Amy Coney Barrett, but I wish he would, because I think she would be a good choice. But she's still also rather young and will have a chance to be put on the court later on, I suppose.
This kind of vacancy and this kind of tipping point is the difference between people having reproductive rights.
Not true. Those are states' rights. That is not a federal right.
And the government controlling people's bodies for them.
That's not what's going to happen. And by the way, these are the same people that would force you to take a vaccine for the stupid coof that kills only really sick people or old people, essentially.
This kind of difference, this kind of vacancy makes the difference between LGBT people having marriage equality and full rights and not.
No, it doesn't. And Judge Roberts, I believe, was the one who made that decision in the end with the court. But it does not. That's not going to be reversed. Nobody cares. Nobody on the right cares, because all the left does is a caricature of what people who are right-leaning believe. They literally are clueless. That's why you all can't meme out there on the left, because you don't understand. It's easy for the right to meme because you give us so much fodder. It's the same reason why it's easy for us to make fun of the president, even if we like him, because he gives us so much to make fun of.
This kind of difference is the difference between labor protections.
No, we have labor protections, but most of them are gone too far. There's a candidate in West Virginia, in my congressional district, that is the AOC of West Virginia, and she wants a national ban on right to work, meaning that if the unions control any sector anywhere, you must either join the union, or if you're not in the union, pay some sort of dues, and that you have no right to work unless you're in the union. Who is protecting whose rights here? Because unions are about unions, people. Look at teachers' unions. How horrible the horrible things that they do. And they really do. You get child molesters in schools, and they still go get a paycheck and have to wait around for a year or two, go sitting around in some office somewhere and still getting paid because of the teachers' unions. They keep school choice out. School choice, which will educate your child better than these no good teachers that basically have no true drive to teach. And I've seen it because I was an education major. I've done the observations.
And your ability to be protected at work, and your boss not being able to violate your rights.
That is not true. You still have equal protection under the law, and there are labor laws, and there are state labor laws.
This kind of vacancy is the difference between us having health care and not.
No, it is not. Again, Judge Roberts was the deciding justice on that. And he decided that it was a tax, even though Obama said it wasn't. But guess what? Obama said you could keep your doctor, and you couldn't. He said the prices wouldn't go up, and they did, because that's what happens when you socialize everything. And the more the government gets involved, which it's been doing for a very long time, and the less free the market is, the worse the healthcare system is going to get. Until we get a system like Canada or what they have in the UK, where you have basic health care for everybody, but it's really hard to get the good procedures, and you have waits. You have better incentive if the market is free, because you will get more specialists, you'll get more people in the field. I have worked hand in hand with healthcare providers for a very long time, nearly 15 years, and I can tell you that they do not like how the insurance works. I worked for the county government for a very long time, or for a county government, and we had some of the best healthcare you could possibly get. Guess what? Obamacare came in, our prices skyrocketed. Now the county paid for 90% of it, but that's because I worked for a local government and they could do such a thing. Businesses could not do that. I knew people that their premiums went up like 5 times. My wife right now, who has a very good job with a very good organization, covers her and my daughter. I'll go to the VA if I have to, as horrible as that is. That's what you get is VA care, people, when the state runs it. But the reason why I'm not covered is because the amount of money that we would have to spend monthly is probably not even the money that we would spend annually on my personal health care. You guys just don't understand. You don't understand.
It's the difference between us having a future in our climate and not.
That's not true either. I don't know that Supreme Court's ruled on anything about that. And, of course, AOC thinks we're all going to die in 10 years, or it's going to be irreversible or whatever else, as if the earth has never been warmer than it is currently now.
And the timing of this vacancy is extremely unsettling and scary to a lot of people. And I want to...
Anyways, I'm not going to play any more of that. She goes on to say that this isn't hyperbole, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. But look, guys, it's not the end of the earth. If you're on the left and you're out there screaming like when Trump was elected, time will move on. It will be okay. But there's nothing wrong with getting back to a constitutional government. A government based in the United States Constitution. And I can promise you that these things that you might be super worried about, they're not really going to change because most of the society has accepted it. You know what else was unconstitutional? The Federal Civil Rights Act. That was unconstitutional. No one's overturned it. Although California is trying to overturn many of their civil rights laws right now. And who is doing that? Well, that is the progressive, socialist, communistic, fascistic left. That's who that is. Not the liberty-minded, libertarian right. Not the freedom, constitutionally minded right. But I've spoke long enough. This is a longer quick shots than I normally do. But in any case, I saw this and I was just like, whoa. Like, this lady. So, thank you all for watching. This has been AllMinucOne Quick Shots, and be well.